Today, we'll be documenting on volcanoes and zoom into a case study of a volcano. The geologist team consists of Chamchen, Gaber, Kieran and Chihan. Primary reason for volcanic eruptions and formations is due to the movement of tectonic plates. These tectonic plates move due to the convection currents and set pull force, and the process of plate movement which are responsible for volcanoes are convergent and divergent. When divergence between two tectonic plates occurs due to the convection currents, the crust is pulled apart and magma from the exothenosphere will rise up to the crust and spill onto the crust, forming volcanoes when the lava cools and solidifies or causing volcanic eruptions. When convergence between two tectonic plates occurs due to the convection currents, the denser crust undergoes subduction and the rest of its plates being pulled underneath the less dense crust due to the slap pull force. When the denser plate is being carried into the exothenosphere, it melts and causes magma to be formed. This magma then rises and forces its way out of the crust, forming volcanoes when the lava cools and solidifies, or causing volcanic eruptions. Now we shall be discussing with you the Eyjafjallajökull, which is our case study. Eyjafjallajökull consists of a volcano completely covered by an ice cap. The ice cap covers an area of about 100 square kilometers, feeding many outlet glaciers. This volcano was formed and is still erupting due to the tectonic divergence of the mid-Atlantic ridge. The latest year in which it erupted was in 2010, and it had erupted twice. Once on 20th March and once in April or May, and the latter was 10 to 20 times more powerful than the former. However, despite the volcanic eruptions, which has brought devastations due to its lava and pyroclastic flow, there are still towns near the volcano. This is the village of Hafnarfjörður. It is located 77.68 miles away from the volcano. It may sound insane, however, there are actually advantages to living near a volcano, and these advantages are the very reason why it exists and is currently inhabited by a large number of people. So, why do people live near volcanoes even if they're dangerous? This is because the volcanoes as well as the area around it are relatively safe for long periods of time in between eruptions, and eruptions are thought of to be predictable. There are also some primary factors that attract people to these areas around volcanoes. One of the reasons is because of the minerals. When a volcano erupts, the magma rising from beneath the Earth's crust will carry many different kinds of nutrients, such as tin, silver, gold, copper, and sometimes even diamonds. Sulfur is also available in certain areas, and locals tend to collect them to sell. This makes these areas near a volcano highly ideal for large-scale commercial mining, or sometimes even smaller-scale activities by individuals or small groups. The second is geothermal energy. Geothermal energy is the use of heat energy, which is steam, from the Earth's core to turn turbines which will power generators and produce electricity, as well as to produce hot water and heat for residents to use. The areas around volcanoes tend to have a lot of heat energy from the Earth's core, which can be harnessed to produce geothermal energy. As such, it is highly profitable and efficient to use these areas to harness geothermal energy. Thirdly is the fertile soil. Volcanic rocks are rich in nutrients from beneath the Earth's core, but take long periods of time to break down before they are suitable for plants or crops to grow. However, once broken down, they make up one of the world's richest nutrient soils in the planet. After being suitable for plants and crops, they will provide highly profitable regions for plantations. Last but not least is because of tourism. Volcanoes attract millions of tourists around the world for many different reasons. Just the sight of a volcanic eruptions or even just smoke from a volcano is an impressive sight many are willing to see. Furthermore, volcanoes also help to form hot springs, steam vents, hot bathing lakes, and geysers, which attract many to these natural, unique relaxation attractions. Geysers are also a popular tourist attraction, like Old Faithful in the Yellowstone National Park. However, one of the problems or the disadvantages which the people living near the volcanoes will face is, for example, the 150-meter thick ice cap which melted and caused major flooding to Iceland, and 700 people were evacuated. Furthermore, the period from August to December 1822 seemed quieter than the previous months, but the farmers attributed the death of cattle and sheep in the Eyjafjallajökull area to poisoning from this eruption, which modern analysis identifies as fluoride poisoning. Furthermore, from 14 to 20 April, ash covered large areas of northern Europe when the volcano erupted. About 20 countries closed their airspace to commercial jet traffic, and it affected more than 100,000 travelers. So, since residents still wish to live near volcanoes, what are some of the ways which the government in the world adopt to help limit destruction from volcanic eruptions? The first would be to educate the surrounding communities about the risk of the volcano and what they should do. For example, to help others and to keep calm. Another is that they will prepare an extensive evacuation plan which has to be known by the citizens to carry it out efficiently during an eruption. Furthermore, drills will be carried out to prepare each and every citizen to know of the routes to escape when a volcanic eruption occurs, so as to make sure that the citizens are safe and sound during any evacuation from a volcanic eruption. Another way which the government has adopted is to dig strategic trenches to divert the flow of the lava away from towns and cities. Furthermore, another way which the government has adopted is to build walls or place obstacles to block the flow of the lava. Another would be that they will carry out military bombings to divert and stop the flow of lava. Unfortunately, military bombings can affect the villages nearby and even kill some people, so it needs to be carried out with precaution. It is quite effective as the high force of a bomb will direct away the flow of the volcano from the villages. This method should be carried out only after the people in the nearby villages have evacuated. Also, the government has prepared a plan to spray water to allow the lava to cool down and solidify quickly, reducing the damage of the lava. One example is where they use seawater in the case of the Iceland 1983 eruption. Finally, some of the governments will also have volcanologists and experts to monitor and study the volcano to attempt to predict an eruption before it actually happens, to give warnings to the communities around the volcano within the impact zone, so as to give them a head start to allow them to evacuate safely, so as to not get harmed by the volcanic lava or the pyroclastic flow. Now, let's have a look at the ways which the government of Iceland has adopted to protect its people from volcanic eruptions. Let's have a look at some of the ways in which the Iceland government adopt to protect its people from volcanic eruptions. The first is evacuation. They prepare an extensive evacuation plan which has to be known by the citizens to carry it out efficiently during an eruption. In the case of Eyjafjallajökull, around 500 farmers and their families from the area of Eyjafjall and Eyjafjall were evacuated overnight, including a group of 30 school children and their 3 teachers from Caister Grammar School in England. Iceland was prepared for this eruption because the first small eruption occurred on the 20th March and they were prepared for larger eruptions. High-tech equipment was used to predict the further eruptions. Iceland had a good warning system with texts being sent to residents with a 30-minute warning. The emergency services were well prepared. The advantage is that it can save many lives should the plan be carried out properly and orderly with all the citizens cooperating. This will reduce the number of lives taken because of volcanic eruptions. However, the disadvantage is that there is a higher chance of failure for the plan should there be problems in communication with the citizens of that community. Another way was to protect against the flooding which occurred when the 150-meter ice cap melted. Thus, roads were bulldozed to to allow the flash flood water to reach the sea. The government paid to dredge rivers or to allow them to flood and create a new path. The advantages is that the water from the sudden flood was able to be dispersed quickly, and the impact of the flood was minimized due to the paths created specifically for the water, which led the flooding away from populated areas. As such, fewer people were affected from this flood. Then, if a method was not put in place. However, the disadvantages is that as roads were disabled, the people in the town were not able to travel efficiently to another town, and thus it will impact many citizens. One of the ways which the government of Iceland has adopted was to halt air traffic. Air traffic was halted to a stop, with flights to and from Reykjavik and Keflavik International Airport were postponed. The fine-grained ash posed a problem to airplanes as it can enter engines or turn into a glassy substance due to the heat of the jet engine. The ash was distributed by high-velocity jet streams above Iceland. An ash plume rising 11,000 meters into the air resulted from the eruption. The advantages of halting air traffic was that the volcano released approximately 0.15 million tons of carbon dioxide each day, but a massive reduction of air travel occurring over European skies caused by the ash cloud saved an estimated 1.3 to 2.8 million tons of carbon dioxide from entering the atmosphere by 19 April 2010. Thus, this can save many lives from polluted air. Furthermore, the pilots may also have a high risk of losing visibility, thus posing as a major problem to the air industry around Europe. Thus, this not only saved the lives of the villagers from polluted air, however, it also saved the lives of tourists. The disadvantages of halting air traffic is that airspace closed over Europe, with at least 17,000 flights a day being cancelled, with 6 flightless days. Overall, 95,000 flights were cancelled. This cost airlines more than $200 million a day, and was estimated that $2 billion was lost overall. Shares in air travel and tourism agencies dropped by 4%. Furthermore, less fuel was needed, so 1.87 million barrels were not in demand, causing a loss of money in the oil industry. It was estimated that London lost a total of £102 million of tourist income, which caused a knock-on effect for workers travelling and businesses. In a nutshell, we feel that the areas around volcanoes are highly profitable and useful, and as such, people should adapt to this situation to fully maximize the volcano's benefits. However, many forms of protection and precaution should be taken to ensure that no harm or as little as possible harm occurs. Measures should also be taken to reduce the impact of a volcanic eruption.